Welcome to the chemistry class. Today we will study lesson 6, that is air and atmosphere. This is a very familiar topic and you know about air and atmosphere. So let us study in details. So you know that we cannot see air but it is present all around us. We can feel its presence when it moves. Okay, and we know that air is a mixture of gas. Before what happened, the ancient philosophers regarded air as an element. But in late 1674, John Mayo, an English chemist, showed that the air consists of two components, one of which is active and the other is inactive. Antoine Lavoisier, a French chemist, found out in 1789 that the ratio of these two components in air, that is we call oxygen and nitrogen, is in 1:4 by volume. Means if oxygen is 1, then nitrogen content is 4 parts. Okay, so like this, in this ratio, this Antoine Lavoisier has found. Okay, then he showed that the oxygen is needed for respiration and burning of substances. Air is a mixture of gas mainly consisting of nitrogen and oxygen. So see in this pie chart, composition of air, nitrogen is 78%, oxygen is 21% and other gases are 1%. Okay, the composition of air is not the same everywhere. It varies from place to place and with altitude. The air on the mountains contains less oxygen than the air down on the plains, because as we go higher and higher, then the content of oxygen lessens. Okay, so in the mountain it contains less oxygen. The composition also varies at different periods of time. For example, during rainy season the air becomes humid and contain more water vapor as compared to the summer season. Okay, so humid in rainy season because more water in the atmosphere is there. Okay, but in summer season it is dry, so less water vapor content. Further, the amount of impurities such as sulfur dioxide and nitrogen dioxide is more in the polluted places. Okay, wherever the industrialization area, that in that area you will find sulfur dioxide and nitrogen dioxide content is more in the atmosphere, in the air. Then importance and uses of components of air. First one is nitrogen. So helps in protein synthesis. Nitrogen is essential for plants. It helps in formation of proteins which are essential for the growth and development of plants. So what happened? This atmospheric nitrogen gets converted into nitrates in the soil. The plants cannot take directly nitrogen. So how it is? The atmospheric nitrogen gets converted into nitrates in the soil. Plants absorb the nitrates from the soil through their roots and use to build up the proteins. Okay, next is the controls combustion of substances. That means it control the burning. Okay, nitrogen does not support combustion. It does not help in burning, but it controls the rate of burning. In the absence of nitrogen, burning would be very far and uncontrollable. So due to the presence of the 78% in the air contain nitrogen, so it check the rate of burning. Then in the manufacture of ammonia, nitrogen is used in manufacture of ammonia by the process of Haber's process. In this process, nitrogen can be obtained, manufactured. Nitrogen very important industrial chemical. Then in the manufacture of fertilizer, nitrogen is used to make fertilizers such as ammonium sulfate, ammonium phosphate, potassium nitrate and urea. And the fifth one is in the food industry. This is very important because of the inert nature. Okay, nitrogen is not an inert gas, but the nature is inert. Then nitrogen is used for food packaging. The containers are used for storing foodstuff and are flushed with nitrogen to remove the oxygen before they are sealed. Because if it contains oxygen, this food package, then what will happen? But there will be bacterial growth. So absence of oxygen does not have bacterial growth. And you know that this nitrogen is 17% abundantly found. So it is cheap also. That's why nitrogen is and it has the nature of inert nature, noble gas nature. Okay, that's why this liquid nitrogen used for food preservation also. Next is oxygen. First one, see, essential for respiration. Oxygen is used by living organisms to respire and thereby produce energy to live. Okay, see, food plus oxygen gives carbon dioxide, water vapor and energy. So oxygen is required. The energy produced is used for the organisms to carry out the various activities. Then oxygen supports combustion or burning of substances. It helps in burning. Without oxygen, nothing can be burned. Oxygen is essential for the burning of fuels since it supports combustion. Then carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide is needed for photosynthesis. Plants use carbon dioxide to manufacture food, that is carbohydrates, by the process of photosynthesis. The non-supporter of combustion. Carbon dioxide does not support combustion, that is, it does not help in burning. So it is used in fire extinguishers. Then used to make fizzy drinks. Fizzy drinks means carbonated drinks. Okay, carbon dioxide is used to make carbonated drinks and soda water. Carbonated drinks that you use, this soft drinks and all. These are carbonated drinks. Then used as refrigerant. Liquid and solid carbon dioxide are used as refrigerant during the transportation storage of ice creams and other frozen foods. Okay, so carbon dioxide is used as a refrigerant. It can keep the food in frozen form. Okay. Then water vapor provides water for plants and animals. Water vapor gets converted into rain and snow that serve as a natural source of water for plants and animals. Then controls evaporation. Excess water vapor in the air decreases the evaporation. Then determines climatic conditions. Excess water vapor in the air produces rain, fog, snow, etc. Hence it determines the climatic conditions. The next is inert gas. See, helium is used in weather balloons. It is also used to obtain very low temperature. The neon, it is used in advertisement signs and brake lights. In the streets, it is used in advertisement signs and brake lights. This neon is used because from night also they reflect so much, so it is used in the advertisement signs and brake lights. Then argon is filled in ordinary electric bulbs. Then krypton and xenon are used in photography and in powerful lamps such as lighthouse lamps, etc. Next is dust particles. Water vapor condenses on dust particles and cause rain. And also dust in the atmosphere reflects some of the sun's heat. This results in cooling of the earth. Then balance of oxygen in air. So we know that during respiration all the living organisms take in oxygen from the air and give out carbon dioxide and water vapor. Then carbon dioxide and water vapor are released in the surroundings during respiration. So what happened? Oxygen is consumed from the air as a result due to respiration by both plants and animals, but is returned to the air during photosynthesis by plants. So it is a give and take. Okay. So like this, balance of oxygen is air takes place. Like during photosynthesis, no oxygen is given out as a byproduct, which is used by plants and animals in the process of respiration. Photosynthesis occurs in daylight only, but respiration of plants takes place in day and light. So like this, balance of oxygen is air takes place. Then increase of carbon dioxide in air. Human burn fossil fuels such as oil, coal and natural gas. Okay, so these fossil fuels what happen are burned. They release waste gases which include carbon dioxide. Okay, so like this in the air carbon dioxide concentration becomes more. Then cutting down of forest for farming fuels, factories, house and roads also increases carbon dioxide in the air. Plant take in carbon dioxide from the air to make food. When they are cut down, it leads to rise in carbon dioxide in air, because when no trees, so no photosynthesis, they will not take the carbon dioxide and they cannot balance the carbon dioxide. So that's why if less trees, then there will be rise of carbon dioxide in the air. So today this much. Next class I will start atmosphere. Okay, thank you.